quick intro to this series of videos. Back in March, we did our first live podcast where we talked about some of the most influential movies in our lives. We wanted to share some of our favorite moments from that podcast. If you want to listen to that complete podcast, the link will be in the description. And if you like what you hear, please subscribe to our channel. Now, onto the video. So, Soto,
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually have you start. What is the
Sure.
first influential movie on your list that kind of got you into the love with movies?
Oh my gosh. It's like, do I have to do this in order? I have to say
I
it's
hope so because I put the
Ra-
pictures in order.
I'm hoping it's Raiders of the Lost Ark. Did I guess it
It
right?
is. It is. It's how you texted me, and you said you could do it in that order. So
Hooray!
yes, the first one is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, oh my goodness. All right, we're off to a great start. Um, yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I've said this before on previous, podcasts that we've had, is one of the first things I ever saw in my entire life. And it continues to, and as I've seen it now into my 40s, um, it continues to be just a perfect adventure movie. It's got everything you need. It's everything a blockbuster should be. It's got a great main actor who has probably historically probably some of the best presence that you have on screen. I know we've had conversations like this in the past. It's like whether or not an actor makes a movie or it's a director or a writer or everything like that. As I've gotten older, like I kind of tend to lean sometimes more now towards, who your leading role like actors are because I still feel as controversial or not that that's what gets people to go to see the movie. And having a good, actor with presence in a movie can really carry it. One of the movies I know we've talked about for doing for Rotten Taste, which we may do next Halloween, is Once Bitten with Jim Carrey.
Hmm.
And the reason I bring that up is that that movie is fucking terrible, and we'll get into it at a later date. But the fact that Jim Carrey is in it does so much for the movie to carry it through, because that's how important it is to have somebody that you're like, I like this actor. They're great. Harrison Ford is just absolutely, this is the quintessential Harrison Ford role. This is Harrison Ford, to me, at his peak. Um, I do tend to like The Last Crusade
Oh, I
as
love
a
it.
better movie,
Oh,
um, and
not
as a
really.
better overall movie. But like, I feel that Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I know that it wasn't always Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, so that's why I'm referring it to Raiders of the Lost Ark, is just on its own like a fantastic movie that doesn't need, sort of any sequels or anything like that. And the next movie in this trilogy, Temple of Doom, which is a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark, gets shit on a lot,
Oh, I love
and
it.
I love it. I think it works great as a romantic comedy. It works great as like an overall adventure. Again, there's really really funny moments. Uh, One of my favorite things about Harrison Ford as an actor is that he is fucking hilarious. And as Han Solo as well, which we'll talk about later too, he's fucking hilarious. Like probably one of my first role models, growing up, where it's like I like sarcasm started getting into like my vernacular, like that you could be a character who had quips, right, and had this like kind of witty banter, and it never came across from Harrison Ford as inauthentic. It came across as just inherently cool. And I think that that's such a hard thing to do when it comes to dialogue and when you mix that with an actor. Sometimes it can feel really forced. There are times in the newer trilogy of Star Wars where it's like, the dialogue feels very forced and everything. And even with Harrison Ford. But this is like, this was great from beginning to end. And again, one of the first movies I ever laid eyes on and could comprehend as a film. It's got iconic moments from beginning to end. The Nazis with their face melting at the end is one of
Oh,
my
yeah.
sticks with me for the rest of my life. I still don't understand why nobody could look at whatever was in there, but or how Indy knew. I don't know. That's confusing. Maybe I will find out. Maybe I'm not paying attention. Maybe I just need to watch this again. But Razor Lost Ark is just such a great piece of filmmaking, and one that I've always thought about and stuck with me for pretty much my whole entire life. So that's why Raiders is my first pick.
And I agree. I mean, Indiana Jones is such a great movie character. And I'll be honest, I mean, I love the first three films. I don't want to get into the latter two, though one day maybe we do for Ron and Taste Dial of Destiny, because I think we might be able to. I don't know, but that's sidetracking.
Oh no, God no.
I tend to go towards and gear more towards some darker movies. I love
Hmm.
that, and this might be a little controversial. And I did love Last Crusade. It is up there. Sean Connery is a friggin' gem. The two of them just work well together. And Raiders are
Hmm.
good. I love Temple the best out of the three. I'm not saying any of them are bad. Trust me, they are all good. I'm not saying either shit, but I think just the darker tone. I do love Short Round. He was great. You know, he was also great as Data in the Goonies. But yeah, so
Hmm.
Indiana Jones, I can definitely see this. You know, especially when we were kids. You know, this is just a character. You just see that hat. You know it's Indy. You know, I think he said it one time. You could just see the shadow of his character, and you know it's Indiana fucking Jones. So
That's top tier filmmaking, top tier character creation. That's, we talked about it in our One Piece video too. It's like when you see Luffy's like silhouette, you know it's Luffy. When you see Indiana Jones and that, you're like, that's how they introduce the character. The first time you see Indiana Jones is a silhouette, and it's so iconic. And I remember a friend of mine back in the day who was in graphic design was always saying that, when you're creating cartoon characters or any characters, if the consumer can recognize them from the silhouette, then that's how you know you have a good one. So,
yeah, this is definitely a very good choice. I mean, there is no, as we're going to talk about, there is no wrong choices. This was very
oh
hard for
no.
us to come up with, you know, just like a handful. And who knows, maybe we'll go down the line, you know, maybe a few more. But yeah, Raiders, the whole trilogy. And I say trilogy, I don't really acknowledge the other two, though they do exist. But yeah, was friggin' awesome.
Are they
I do love.
rotten? Do we know this?
I think Dial of Destiny might be. I don't think Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is though, and I'm not
Oh,
100% sure. But I
it's
think
one
when
of the
Dial
worst
of
things I've ever
Destiny came
seen.
out, I felt like we could touch it. If not, I think
Okay.
we might be able to touch it now with that. So I don't know. We'll look
Okay.
into
More
it.
to come.
So more to come. You know, who knows? But I don't know if I want to watch Dial of Destiny. I mean, it's gonna make me cry.
I
It's just
know,
like,
right?
why ruin Indie? Why? Why?
We keep all of our things that we loved have been torn down as the years keep going on. I don't know how much more I can take.